very warm welcome to you, Apsara, to this session to interact with the students from across the country from different graduating years. Some of them are joining us on the GoToWebinar platform. Most of them would be joining us on YouTube Live, which the link for which has been shared with them to all the registrants for the recruitment train and hire program as well. Now, a warm welcome to all you students and candidates who are, who've joined us on GoToWebinar as well as YouTube. We also have a few training and placement officers from different institutions with us. A very warm welcome to you all. Now, just before I proceed, I'm going to just put a quick sound check poll, just so if we are sure that you can hear us and can see the screen. And if you're on YouTube, you can just type in the comments if it's all clear. I'm launching the poll now. If you could please vote. Thank you, guys. There is a very small number of people who seem to not be able to hear the audio. So my suggestion is to use earphones in case it's not audible, because the GoToWebinar tool works best with earphones in case your laptop doesn't have the multifunction option. So please try. I see that 94% of you can actually hear us and also see the screen. Great. Now, before I proceed, I would like to first set some context for why we are here, and also introduce the speaker for today. FACE has been in the training space for the last 11 years, and we've kind of worked mostly in the tertiary education space, helping students across the campuses in India prepare for placements. With that background and experience, we've also worked with different corporate entities such as ThoughtWorks in helping their graduate level recruitment and training programs. Right? Today, it is with that connection that we bring this webinar, and we are interacting with Mrs.Apsara Mokashi from ThoughtWorks. She heads the entry-level programs there. Right? Now, you must also be aware of FACE and ThoughtWorks train and hire program, for which many of you have already registered with us. You can also look at this interaction as an extension of what you already know about that program. So this will give you an insight into how ThoughtWorks as a company works and why they are global leaders in two very specific fields, which we have highlighted in the title, diversity and inclusion. Right? I'll quickly take some time to introduce Apsara before I proceed with the session. I'll just first share my screen. Apsara is the head of entry-level programs for India at ThoughtWorks. She started her IT career as a corporate IT trainer. She has worked for the corporate services business group of NIIT Pune as a corporate trainer. As part of this, she imparted training in C, C++, Java, Oracle to both corporate clients as well as students of management institutions. She later joined Persistent Systems in Pune in 2003 as a quality analyst, and thereafter she joined ThoughtWorks India in November 2008 as a quality analyst again. In the 12 years since, she's played multiple roles with ThoughtWorks. Starting as a QA, she has gone on to play the roles of iteration manager, release manager, staffing manager, and office principal for the Bangalore's new ThoughtWorks office. For the past 1 year, she has been heading the entry-level programs for India, designing the well-supported graduate-owned 1-year growth journey, and also the onboarding program that ensures every graduate is equipped with the right technology and practices, also the knowledge to be able to start on a project at ThoughtWorks. As part of her current role, she also works with organizations that help them find graduates from different backgrounds and help with ThoughtWorks style of training. On a personal note, she has 2 lovely daughters aged 9 and 7, and in her spare time, she loves to engage in music and yoga. That is Apsara Mokashi for you. Now I will hand over the reins to Apsara so that she can start her presentation. Thank you once again, Apsara, for participating in this webinar.
Thanks a lot, Vijay. Thanks. Yeah, I'll just take the presentation.
Yes, I'm making you presenter. Yeah.
First of all, thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, Vijay. Can you see my screen now?
Yes, I can. Yes.
Cool. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, Vijay. Thanks a lot, Face. Thanks for everybody who is over here today. Thanks for coming here. Thanks for giving me the opportunity to talk about the diversity and inclusion that we have in ThoughtWorks, how we are trying to have a social impact with all that we do in ThoughtWorks with respect to diversity and inclusion. Talking about women in tech, how do we want to really bring them up, where we stand today in the society, and where do you want to go next, and how you all can help in that. So thanks for giving me an opportunity for me to present this. So here we are today. Vijay, thanks for the introduction. Yes, I have I have around 12 years of experience in ThoughtWorks. This 25th November, it would be 12 years, and that's an amazing journey that I have gone through. Starting as a quality analyst, I started as a techie. And picked up different roles in ThoughtWorks before I, picked up the leadership role in ThoughtWorks as the head of entry-level programs. And today, in the past few years now, and in the next few years, I will be looking at, how can we bring in more grads into the system, and definitely women grads, because at this level is where we are able to get more and more women in, and how we can progress them into a journey which is not just a tech journey, but we very well understand that women are also the the journey for them, the life journey for them is the marriage, and they are the primary caregiver. So we understand all of that, while we also ensure that they keep themselves updated in tech, and we give them as much support as required. So yeah, thanks once again for calling me here, and we will go through the presentation, just understanding about ThoughtWorks, about D&I in ThoughtWorks, why women in tech, and how you all can help us. Right. To start with, I will just tell you how the presentation is going to progress. I'm going to talk a little bit about ThoughtWorks. And then I'll talk about the diversity, equity, and inclusion at ThoughtWorks, why it is so important for us. Then let's talk a little bit about women in tech, and what we at ThoughtWorks are ensuring that women in tech are progressing, like all the time. What are the things that we are doing at ThoughtWorks for this? And last but not the least, I'm inviting all of you to be the game changer in being, in the world of women in tech. So that's the flow of the presentation. Right, about ThoughtWorks. It's more than 25 plus years that we are into the IT industry, with more than 43 offices across the globe in 14 countries with 7,000 plus employees. And within India, we have 2 offices in Bangalore, and we have offices in Chennai, Coimbatore, Gurgaon, Hyderabad, Mumbai, and Pune. So yeah, the offices are everywhere else. And with the COVID pandemic hitting us, we have also found a way to, have a virtual office, have different ways, because office for us is always a culture hub. And because of the pandemic, we have gone agile. We are great at agile, and we have found a way out there as well. So that's about ThoughtWorks. Just one word there for ThoughtWorks India. Our target by 2022 is to have 40% of women. And while it's extremely difficult to have women, in the senior and leadership position for us to hire from the market, because there are as many women available out there, it's it's definitely lot more better for us to have all women from graduates, where they can come into ThoughtWorks and we can support them and grow them into into the leadership positions further. So that's ThoughtWorks. Very little bit about ThoughtWorks. Next, I would want to talk about ThoughtWorks. Why? Every organization has a purpose, depending on how they work and how they take decisions, what helps them drive decisions. For us, this is the ThoughtWorks why. We want to create extraordinary impact on the world through our culture and technology excellence. And if you can see, culture is a huge part of it. The stories that we have with respect to culture are immense. I can keep talking about stories till evening, given that I have been here for around 12 years. Our values, our culture, our unique way of doing things is what really makes us apart from a lot of other organizations. When I say extraordinary impact, it is about going beyond the norm, pushing the envelope, and doing the unexpected in every part of the business. That's about how we try and create an extraordinary impact on the world. I spoke about culture, but technology excellence is something that is very core to us. It's always tech at core. For everything that we do, whether we are amazingly good at our delivery practices, what we do in technology, in a development space, or in a QA space, or in a UI dev space, we always have the technology. We always want to excel in technology. We are the leaders in a lot of things, like open source. Contributing to open source. ThoughtWorks is one of the the pioneers in that, and we have been always advocating each and every person in ThoughtWorks to contribute to open source as much as possible. So that's our purpose. We want to create extraordinary impact on the world through our culture and technology excellence. The second layer that you see, it is about the 5 lenses through which we achieve our purpose. The first one is about partnering with clients for their ambitious missions, and I have multiple examples for this. I can take the example of trainline.com, which is like UK's IRCTC, where it was a train booking system. We worked with them for a good amount of 11 years. At one point of time when they had a lot of issues going, from there we took their system, we completely did an open heart surgery, and then we at one point of time, now we do daily deployments on that. That's just one such example. We want to be an awesome partner to our clients. We want to understand them. We want to see how we can give them a better system, a robust system, than just developing something. So it's always partnering with them in their missions. Second one is revolutionizing the technology industry. If you look at if you've heard about TechRadar, if you've heard about the open source contributions, if you've heard about a lot of thought workers write a lot of books, be present in conferences. So if you see, even the Agile, when we started off, we're the pioneers in Agile, and we taught the world how to actually deliver in an Agile way. So we are here to revolutionize the technology industry. So that's one of the lenses. The third one is about obviously achieving enduring commercial success and sustained growth that every business needs to have commercial success, and also commercial success in such a way that we are able to sustain growth. I said that we are 25 plus years into the industry now. We aspire to be 100 plus year organization. That's where the sustained growth comes from. The next lens is about fostering a vibrant community of diverse and passionate technologists. Yes, while we are very good at technology, very good at delivery, we also have a very, very strong presence in the IT industry in the form of communities. We have communities, we have dev communities, we have QA communities, BA communities, different communities who come together and they share a lot of information that they have. So sharing of information, ensuring that they onboard people who come into the system, hiring them, capability building. That's what the entire community does. So for an individual like me, or for any ThoughtWorks, or for any thought worker, you will have these three groups to go to. You will have your account and project where you're working on. You will have your office, which office itself will have a lot of things going on in the office. It has an ecosystem of its own for you to go to, and you have your community. So if you are a dev, you have a dev community. If you're a QA, you have a QA community. So for you, it's the third world as well, where you can go for your core skills, where you can go and present about your learnings, where you can learn from each other. And that's very, very strong in ThoughtWorks, and that's the next lens that I was talking about. The fifth lens, and which we are going to deep dive a little bit today into, is about amplifying positive social change and advocating for an equitable tech future. So yes, there are different ways how we have actually amplified the social change, via ThoughtWorks and via ThoughtWorkers. Talking about the Bhamini open source hospital management project that we did, the Vapasi program that we do for having to get back women who come back from a break, the STEP program that we have in ThoughtWorks, where we go to tier 3, tier 4 cities, and we go to diploma colleges, and we get students from there, and we take them through a 2 years program. So there are multiple such examples of social change and initiatives, and we're just going to deep dive a little bit into it. In the outermost layers are our values, which are always there with us. They are in our DNA. Each thought worker, you will see them. They are, you will see all these values. Being courageous in terms of, if you've gone wrong, just, fessing it up and talking about it, being courageous about it. Integrity, pursuit of excellence, always thinking about the entire ThoughtWorks in totality. So global first, cultivation, investing in others, like growing others, curiosity, a very important point. Autonomous teams that can take care of themselves. Each individual knows that there are multiple things to be done in a team. They will obviously be very great at what they do, but they also know that they'll have to do, if there are things in the team to be done, they will jump into that as well and work. So it's autonomous teams. Inclusivity, we are great at diversity, but we are also amazing at ensuring that everyone who is in ThoughtWorks is made to feel included. Having diversity is one thing, but ensuring that you make everyone feel included is another. So very, very proud to say that every thought worker, they breathe through these values. So yeah, that's ThoughtWorks. That's a little bit about what we are and why we do things. And if you see today, even what I'm presenting today to all of you, it is about the lens of amplifying positive social change and advocating an equitable tech future. When I say equitable tech future, in tech, we should have everybody, participating. Right, I will just play a small video, and then we can go to the
At ThoughtWorks, striving for positive social change is at the core of our purpose and culture. We actively encourage heterogeneity of thoughts, perspectives, ideas, solutions, and cultures. Diversity powers our collective impact. It enhances our innovation and ability to adapt to the fast-changing environment and needs of our customers. We believe in building a safe and respectful workspace where everyone feels supported to contribute, grow, and succeed. This isn't just a policy, it's a practice. Initiatives like Circle of Trust, theater-based inclusion workshops, unconscious bias training program Be Inclusive, and a customized gender-neutral learning modules and sessions on POSH are among some of the inclusive best practices we follow. It's the diversity of thought workers that has created our secret sauce culture. It's a key differentiator. Programs like Vakusi, Interning with Pride, Network of Women, STEP help amplify this effort. We know that our success will depend on our ability to harness and embrace the power of an inclusive culture that's safe and respectful for all. Each thought worker is a custodian of this culture and co-owns this agenda.
Yeah. Right. So that was, the voiceover was of Tina Vinod. She's our global head for diversity and inclusion. There was one thing that she said, and that is creating a safe environment for everyone to work here, right? And that's something that I really want to repeat. That's what every thought worker does. It's not that somebody asks you to do that, or there is one person who ensures that that has been done. No, each and every thought worker understand that this is required, and they help and create this safe space for everyone. If I may take an example of my own, I remember when my second child was born and I joined back to work. I had two girls, two babies, who were less than 3 years of age. So I went to my I went to my project manager and I said that, you know what, I have two small girls, and I might just drop work and go off in case, any of them, if they fall ill, I'll drop everything and go. And I'm really worried about this. And he said that, how do you think that's different for anybody else? It's true for me as well. If my son falls ill, even I will go. So how is it different from you? Why are you saying that you are, lesser in any sense? That's when I understood that each one of us at ThoughtWorks, one, we create that safe space and that comfort for everyone to be with. We understand each other's life. We understand the life journeys. We understand that, yes, at one point of time, you married, and then you have kids, and you have little kids, and then you have aging parents. We understand all of that. We understand the entire system, and that's how we help in support each other. And I, when I got that support, when I was the office principal for Bangalore, the same help and the same support was extended to everyone else. And it's not just for women. Even men in ThoughtWorks, there have been examples where they would request for their paternity leaves around the time that their wife would join back work. It just shows that how each one of us, men or women or otherwise, we all think about each other and support each other. Right. Let me just go to the next one. Sure. Let me talk a little bit about why diversity, equity, and inclusion is very important at ThoughtWorks. We believe that it has the power to create transformative social change, in the sense that, so the reason why we think about it so much, because as and when, like, for example, if we have more and more, just for an example, if we have more and more women, like, coming from this particular program now, I would believe that once you are 3-4 years into the tech industry and start really doing well, you will ensure and influence that you influence a couple of more women around you, right? And that's just a small start to the transformative social change that I'm talking about. This is why we aim to include all the society, both in our community and through our tech. And we definitely reject discrimination. And we have policies around that. We have policies around ensuring that people do not discriminate at work. This is why we give people a place to belong and grow, to be respected, safe, and valued. It's such a big thing. And the best thing about ThoughtWorks that I have experienced for so many years is that for me to feel respected, safe, and valued, it's not just one person out there somewhere in the leadership team trying to do something. No, I have been made feel respected, safe, and valued at every point, in a meeting, outside of a meeting, in the office, by each and every person. So it's all there in the DNA. And of course, together we strive to have an extraordinary impact on the world. That's how we plan to do this. Right. Before we dive into women in tech, let me just talk about how culturally diverse teams have won in the workplaces. At points we do think try a particular a meeting where there are only one kind of people versus there are different opinions coming together, different backgrounds coming together. You will definitely see a lot of difference in that kind of a collaboration. So McKinsey says that companies with higher level of racial diversity brings in nearly 15 times more sales revenue than companies with lower levels of racial diversity. If you look at the journal, what the Journal of Economic Geography says, they say that the organization with diverse leadership are 70% likelier to capture a new market than companies like lacking diverse leadership. And there are a lot of such numbers. I think what it means is we definitely need diversity, and diversity can happen from it can happen in different ways. There can be gender diversity, there can be regional diversity, there can be diversity about what background you come from, what's the socioeconomic background that you're coming from, and each one of it brings different perspectives. It brings different perspective into the thought process of any discussion or any collaborative effort. Just for an example, we had a team that was working on women's apparel, and when we were working on that, at one point of time we realized that the group also, the group obviously was a group of men and women, but we did realize that when it is about a women apparel, there are a lot of inputs that are coming from women. Otherwise as well, when it comes to the investment background, investment related projects, banking related projects, every person, every individual is unique, and what they bring on the table is unique. So it's extremely important for us to have a lot of diversity. And once we have that in an organization, it's extremely important for us to make them feel included. At core, we know that a person understands their work. They are extremely good at their core skills. Beyond that, whether you are a single mother, whether you have someone who's got, who doesn't fall into the norm of, the gender norms of what society has defined today, or you have different sexual preferences, or you are a single parent, or you have different, you come from a different background, whatever it is, doesn't matter. What matters is you're amazingly good at your core skills. The entire system, the entire organization makes you feel included. Right. Let me talk a little bit about how at ThoughtWorks we are focusing in the areas of diversity and inclusion. The activity that we're doing today and what phase, the registrations that you've done today, it's about finding diverse talent for us. Talent from different parts of the country, from different backgrounds, and obviously, we wanted to ensure that this is particularly for women, so that at entry level we can actually get a lot of women and also groom them into good tech future. Retention and policies. Yes, I'm very proud to say that a simple thing like the 6 months maternity leave, before it came into the corporate world as something that was mandatory, a couple of years before that, ThoughtWorks already had had 6 months of maternity policy. We also have paternity, which is which is a month long. Even for those who adopt children, even for them, we have these policies. So our policies are very, very friendly with respect to diversity. Inclusion and belonging, I've been talking about that, and advancement and opportunities. We do ensure that there are multiple ways how we ensure that every individual at ThoughtWorks is being invested on, and we give them multiple opportunities for advancement. I think the best example can be me, because I have in the course of 12 years I have done multiple roles, and I've been given those challenging opportunities every now and then. I would like to call out one thing. When women come back from maternity, there is this thought about, okay, shall we give her work which is a little lesser than how much she can actually manage to do, so that because she's just back from maternity. It's exactly opposite in ThoughtWorks. We give stretch opportunities, and we also give challenging opportunities, as per what every individual can do, and that actually is done while giving a lot of support. So we believe in giving support, but we do not believe in not challenging the person or stretching them with what they can actually do. So that's how we ensure that every person is growing. The more challenges you do, the more stretch opportunity you get, you keep growing. All right, that's one of it. I think I'm just going to read this out. At ThoughtWorks, we truly believe in the power of diversity. We actively encourage heterogeneity of thoughts, perspectives, ideas, solutions, and cultures. It enhances our innovation and ability to adapt to the fast-changing environment and needs of our customers. We aspire to be an employer of choice for all, and diversity helps power our collective impact. Right. Okay, so from here we come to women in tech, and we talk a little bit about it. And let's try and understand, why is it imperative? Why is it so important for us to think about women in tech? Why is it so important for us to do something about this? And how will it have a larger social impact? So let's just talk about a few numbers. Women own less than 10% startups in the world. In the last 40 years, 90% of all information technology licenses were made by male-only teams. It was less than 2% that had women colleagues as well. 30% of engineering graduates are women, and out of them, there are around 11% of engineering graduates who actually come into the tech field and start working. 50% of women who quit industry, they never come back. They never come back, right? There are multiple of these factors. There are multiple things. It's not just about bringing in women and training them and helping them grow, but it's also about understanding them, understanding how their life is, understanding that at least in India as a society, women are considered to be the primary caregiver, right? Though things are changing right now, but still at one point of time, they are the primary caregivers, and that needs to be accepted and empathized with. That's how, that's how we can actually understand women and then take them through their journey. Program for them. We have a network of women. We have women at ThoughtWorks, a lot of things that we keep doing. And if you look at the right-hand side, there are so many awards that ThoughtWorks has won because we have been championing the cause of women in tech. and it's at a point where I always keep saying that there are organizations there who have started to do things around D&I. There are organizations who are not doing anything in that, and there are organizations who have done a lot and are now in a luminary position. Again, very proud to say that ThoughtWorks is in a luminary position right now in terms of getting women into tech and growing them, and being very, very intentional about it. Right. Talk tech to her. I really love this poster. That's the reason why I put it out there. So this is one of the things when you talk about cookbook, it's Jeffy cookbook that somebody really loves about, and talk about relationship, and they are actually talking about Oracle schemas or database schemas over there. And when you say commits to work, it is actually that they're actually committing their code. So yeah, amazing. Like I always see this happening at ThoughtWorks. So all of you here today, and we have to, and obviously
Apsara, I'm sorry to interrupt, Apsara.
Talk more about the training that we.
So there is a lag again. So
but
the
it
voice
is
and
about
the video
you.
has out of sync.
Once shortlisted and selected for a program, we will take you all through a training program. Yeah. Vijay, do you want to enjoy the help? Vijay, can you hear me?
Hear you. Yeah, just now. So there's a 3-second lag. So it just happened just about a minute ago, and just in the last slide, I think.
Sure. So is it okay now? Can I continue?
Yeah, please continue. There is a lag between the video and audio, but that's still fine. We can work with that, I guess. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I was talking about the phase training. So once shortlisted, we will ensure that the shortlisted candidates, the one who go through the program, are well equipped with the tech and ThoughtWorks practices. Why I say ThoughtWorks practices? Because for our projects, every project, we have a way to deliver the project, and hence we are the leaders in delivery excellence. It's about how do you start a project, how do you do the iteration planning management meetings, how do you do huddling, how do you write a code, how do you test the code, what are desk checks, how do you do retros. The entire way of delivering a project is something that we ensure that we try and teach the grads who go through the program. And obviously the tech requirements that are also covered. In the tech requirements also, it's more about how to ensure that we write clean code, readable code, how do we write test-driven development. It's more around the fundamentals. How do we do object modeling, the OOPS concepts, and etc. There are also things where we will try and see if you can experience the ThoughtWorks culture in action. During the training program itself, we will try and take you through panel discussions, through different type of activities like fish bowls, sharing leadership journeys, and some D&I conferences, just for you to see just for you to give a glimpse of what ThoughtWorks culture is all about. The idea for us to do this training is to ensure that when you join projects, you are able to contribute and add value to the teams quickly. Now, while I say that, let me add this point. Every thought worker, no experience, less experience, or more experience, is valued in ThoughtWorks. The reason being, when you, as a graduate, when you learn learn things, when you learn clean code practices and everything else, and when you come onto the team, you're also expected to ask a lot of questions and challenge the team members. At points of time, because the clients need something, there is pragmatism, and we leave out few practices, but we expect that the grads come and they challenge the team members, saying that why are we not doing this, right? So it's a for us it's an amazing thing to have grads on the ground, on the projects, because we know that they will come and they will question us and challenge us. So you have a role to play there. Yeah, Vijay, have we moved to the next slide? Can you see the 1-year growth journey slide?
Yes, we can. Yeah, now I think it's back in sync.
Is back in sync. Okay, thanks. Good.
Okay.
Right. Once you're in ThoughtWorks, there is this 1-year growth journey, which we take care of, my group takes care of, and we ensure that each one of you is supported well. Your growth journey, you own it up completely. It's up to you how you want to grow, but you have all of us around you to help you with the supporting elements. We start talking to you before you join. You go through a training. There is a feedback. We set expectations with you to tell you what are you supposed to do. Then we assign mentors to you, and you catch up with your mentors. You catch up with your office leaders. We ensure we do 2 reviews before you actually move into the next level. So for a year at least, there is this group who completely takes care of your journey and ensures that you have and ensures that if you have challenges, then we try and solve it. If you need more opportunities, then we see how to give you those. Right. All right. So before I play this video, I would just like to tell you that as a woman, there are a lot of things that we get to hear from people around us. She's a woman, she might not be having a lot of business inclination, or her business acumen must be less. She's a woman, she might not be available at some point of time. She's a woman, she might not really travel. Her experience is less. She might not be able to do this, right? So there are a lot of these things that you hear. I would like to challenge all of you out there who say, who have any thought process with respect to, okay, a woman can't do this. I would like to challenge all of you. And I would like to invite you to come and take a step forward and change this for the better of our society. Right, and I'm playing the video out here.
Women can't reach top jobs in engineering. Women lack the skills to make effective leaders. She doesn't have enough experience for this leadership role. We can't stop her on the project. She's not ready yet. Once women leave tech, it's impossible to come back. Women in tech don't diversify their skills.
Yeah. Right. I hope you loved that video. And if I may say, I think it's just 3 or 5% of all women leaders that we are talking in ThoughtWorks. If we had to call all of them and ask all of them to talk in a video, I think it will be evening by then. So yes, makes me very, very proud to say that. And why I say that, I would like to repeat what Rebecca is saying. We are not done yet, not by a long shot. There is a lot to be done. And I'm inviting all of you to help me out there. Please, please put a lot of effort in the assessments that FACE is doing. I would be happy to have many more shortlisted candidates than required, and then FACE coming and telling me that can we have multiple batches. Yeah, I'll be happy to have that problem to solve rather than having lesser numbers, right? So yeah, once again, we are not done yet, not by a long shot. There's a lot to be done, and I hope you all will help me out there. Yeah, that's all I had. Thanks, Vijay. I think I can take questions now. I can't hear you, Vijay.
Check.
I can hear you now.
Right. So thank you, Apsara, for a wonderful presentation and introduction to how ThoughtWorks is imbibing diversity and inclusion in the workplace. This was a fantastic insight to ThoughtWorks as an organization, and also what other organizations should do in terms of encouraging diversity and inclusion in their respective workplaces. I think, when I've read in multiple places that ThoughtWorks is truly the leader in this space, but now I know why. So that kind of rounds it out for me, and I'm sure for the audiences as well.
Yeah, thanks, Vijay. Thanks for that comment. And I would again say it's not just one person who does that. It's the entire organization. It's just there in our DNA. Would like to take an example over there. A woman coming up to me and saying that she's scared because she joined ThoughtWorks just now and she's expecting. And I was talking about her health, saying that what happened to you? Are you okay? And she was like, who asked that? Why are you asking about my health? I thought you will say that you've just joined ThoughtWorks and you're thinking of going on leave. I said, no, that doesn't matter. And when she went to her office, she saw the same thing around in everybody else. And then she told me that it's not just you, Apsara, it's everybody else. It's everybody else with the same thought. So yes, it's there in our DNA, and everybody who experiences that, they give the same to everyone else. So yeah.
Yeah, that's an awesome kind of an anecdote, and I'm sure as graduate recruits who are about to enter the workplace for their first jobs, there cannot be a better company than ThoughtWorks. If especially they are from a diverse background, or if they are women trying to take charge of a tech career, I think ThoughtWorks would be a great place to get started. On that note, I will probably start with some comments. So Harshita Singh from YouTube has said. So there are some participants who are joining us on YouTube as well. Some of the comments I'm kind of going to read out and then take questions. So Harshita is saying, love how inclusive and diverse your company is. Love how you're presenting the whole thing. Is there any eligibility criteria for us to apply for your company? So there are a lot of other questions also on the eligibility criteria front. So thank you, Harshita, and all others for your positive comments on the presentation. I'm going to just put two links. One is the link to the ThoughtWorks FACE training application, and we've also made a video which details the application process and the different stages in that process. I'm sending it to the entire audience, so please make sure you check that video and also the link. That will answer most of your questions around the process, what will happen at what stage. Now, if you have any specific questions that are not answered there, we can take it up right now. So I'll be taking further questions. Now, before I do, I have a small poll to understand which graduating years are represented here. So if you're on GoToWebinar, you can take this poll. If you're on YouTube, you can just type in the comment section which year is your pass out year. So I'm going to launch the poll now. Please take it up. Right, I'm going to leave the poll open for 10 more seconds. If you're on YouTube, you can answer in the comments section. All right, great. Thank you very much, guys. I'm just going to share the results. So it's more than 4% of you from 2021 batch, 12% of you are from 2020, and 4% of you are from 2019 or earlier. So that's a bit of diversity there for us as well. And we're very delighted to be working with those in the final year and those who have just about graduated this year. Quite excited for that. So I'm going to hide the results and start taking some questions, and Apsara will take them up. So one thing that I would want to highlight is FACE would do a little bit of an assessment, screen the candidates, and the second level of assessment will be done by ThoughtWorks. So from our side, from the side of FACE itself, we'll be checking for communication skills, programming skills, and a little bit of aptitude skills. So to give you a general insight, this is how these are the three main skills that we'll be looking for. Some of the questions from Divya, from Kusuma, and Gayatri and Ragini, Gayatri and Vichitra, they're trying to understand, is there any specific skill set they're looking for? How will ThoughtWorks screen candidates in the further rounds?
Sure. So for graduates, it's mostly for us to see that what are your problem solving abilities. That's one that we try and assess. Second one is your programming abilities, whatever you've learned in your college, how much you've learned and in how much depth you have learned that, right? So that's one criteria. The other one is about your learnability. We do have a round where you are supposed to solve a particular code, and then somebody would pair with you as in someone would come along with you and start asking you questions around what you've written, and can it be written in a different way. They will give you hints, and it's about how you're picking up the hints and how you're actually writing the code. So that shows the learnability aspect. So anybody who is who understood their code well when they were learning in their college, or if they have done a couple of months of job elsewhere, do they understand it in depth? Do they understand if there is one particular tech stack that they're working on, what can be the other options for it? What are the differences, right? That's the tech breadth part of it, right? That learnability and your problem solving abilities. These are something which are core to us, which we will assess. In my opinion, everything else can be worked upon. So yeah, if you're shy, if you're introvert, if you're that's okay. You're all good with that. You should be good in your core skills.
All right, great. So I've got a few questions from different candidates around, is ThoughtWorks recruiting for any non-programming roles as well?
At a graduate level?
Yes.
At a graduate level, not really. For graduate levels, we are hiring mostly for developers, sometimes QAs and BAs as well, quality analysts and business analysts. But that number is very small. The developer number are more. Non-programming roles, not really. Like, we are more into development, so that's the role that we look at.
Great.
Yeah.
So just to answer that question with a little bit more context, people from non-computer science IT backgrounds, if you have strong foundational level programming skills, obviously if you pass our criteria, there would be a training program and there would be an internship. There will be a little bit of hand-holding provided you are committed to improving your skills, and we will be able to mold you to take up that developer position with gusto. right? So we are not looking at directly deployable talent. We just take you and put you in a job role. As you can see, this whole process of recruiting for ThoughtWorks is a long drawn one, where we select candidates, put them through a training program, then an internship, and subsequently you're made a full-time offer. So that is the process. Great.
Yeah.
I'm also going to take some questions. There are plenty of questions on internship stipend and the full-time salary. I mean, we've not mentioned that anywhere. So I will repeat what I have to say here, and maybe if you can add, Apsara. So the idea is the probation stipend is definitely far higher than the industry standard, and so is the so is the full-time offer. So we'll be sharing these information with people who clear the subsequent rounds. So we don't want that to be the only number that you focus on in considering ThoughtWorks.
Yeah.
Great. So there are questions about eligibility criteria. So again, we would definitely want to look at eligibility criteria in a very strict sense. If there is a small buffer, would you consider is the question? Apsara, would you take this up? Like 0.1, 0.5 kind of?
I didn't get the question.
So some students have 65% eligibility criteria. So they have scored significantly higher in 10th and college, but maybe 12th something has gone wrong, or in diploma something has gone wrong. Where there's a small fraction lesser than the 65 required, will they be eligible to apply?
Yeah, so I think once like the assessment, the coding challenge that we're talking about, that we will do in our assessment, right? So if they go through that, and if they go through the interviews as well, yeah, why not? We are open to take them.
All right, great.
It's all about the assessment that FACE and ThoughtWorks is going to go do it together. If they clear that,
right. So there are plenty of questions on what will be the exact pattern of the first round test. So I will kind of repeat that question. There will be a little bit of aptitude. There will be some programming MCQ questions, and there will also be a programming question which you will do on a compiler. These on top of that, there is a small communication round. You will record a video on a portal answering some questions, basically introducing yourself. That will help us assess your communication skills. There'll be some MCQs also, which will test your communication skills. I hope we've given you sufficient context. This is just like any other campus recruitment test, where we're screening for the skill that we're recruiting for, which is we are recruiting for developers, hence we would want programming skills. And second, you'll be working in a multinational workplace, which means you will need good communication skills as well. All right, so I'm taking the question. So what kind of technologies will we be working on, and what will be the criteria for job location postings after if we clear the full-timer offer?
Right. So which technology that you'll work on? I don't have an answer to that, because we have multiple projects, multiple clients who are working on different technologies. So ranging from Java to C++ to a lot of other technologies that you're working on. I think at an entry level, you should definitely look at what problem you're solving. Which tech are you using to solve it? Should not be the primary thing for you. For you, it should be more about what is the problem that you're solving, and how are you learning the delivery excellence part of it. So that should be more important. Depending on which project you go to, your tech will be from that project, and we work on multiple technologies across clients. So that's the first one. The second question was, Vijay?
Sorry, one second.
One was on technology, and the other one was
job locations.
Job locations, yeah. Job location, yeah. The pandemic has really given us a new way to think about job location now. But yes, depending upon so for us across India, there are different projects that keep happening. Where you will get placed as per your project depends on where the openings are and the availability part of it. However, the home office that you want to opt for is up to you, whichever office you stay near to. you can choose that as your home office. At the point of when you are actually coming into when you are becoming an employee, at that point of time, we do have a plan across India that which office has what headcount at this point of time, how many grads, or because how many grads can they take at this point of time for this year, right? Depending upon that, it will be distributed. But yes, at any point of time, you can also request for a change of home office. But in the beginning, it will be decided by us. We will obviously take your preference.
Oh, great. So the next question is around the selection criteria for conversion from an internship. So what will I do in an internship? How will I be considered for a full-time offer?
Okay, what will be done in the internship period? So in internship period, you will be assigned to a project. You will be assigned a mentor, and for the next 3 to 4 months of the internship period, you will be told about your expectations. And as for that, within 3 months, we will see where you stand. How much have you understood the delivery practices, or how have you understood the tech part of it, and how are you showing the learnability part. Once you're through that, you will get the FTE offer. If there is misalignment, and I'm hoping that the misalignment should be less, given we are going to start talking to you right from the time that you start doing your phase training. So you're doing your phase training, we will keep talking to you over there, and then during your ThoughtWorks internship as well. So it's not that I'm talking to someone who's very new. I know that I have been seeing you for a few months now, right? So I'm hoping that the alignment part should be much lesser. Even if there are things there where we say that we need a couple of more months to observe this person, we might come back and tell you that. But otherwise, I think within those 3 months, we will ensure that we'll tell you what expectations are. And once you perform as per your expectations, you are through. You will get your FTE offer.
All right. Okay. So the next question has 2 parts. I think I'm kind of merging some questions here. The first part is on how what if I have semester commitments during the January to March phase? How will I be able to take part in this internship? Is it like a 9 to 5 internship? So I will answer that part. So we request that you kind of take this up only if you're available full-time during that period, because the training program will be a full-time kind of a training program. If you're unable to, maybe after selection process, you can reach out to us to see if you can be considered for a subsequent batch, which might happen slightly later, and you can probably join in that. The second question, which I would pose to you, Apsara, is what if I claim?
Yeah, I would just add, during internship, a couple of days here and there are okay. I wouldn't say that if they have to go for exams for 1 day or 2 days, that should be okay. I think within 3 months period, more than anything more than a week, then it is very difficult to assess. Then it will just keep on extending, and then there is no point, right? So we should try and keep that try to be there during the internship full time. A couple of days here and there should be okay.
Yeah. Great. So that will be treated as a leave of absence, and you can come back and rejoin as soon as the exams are over. So the question had 2 parts actually. So I was mainly addressing the first part, availability during the training program. So the training program also is like full-time. Expectation is you are available from 9 to 5, and you are only doing this training program. Now we understand that some universities have semesters in the final coursework in the final semester. If that is so, then maybe you can let us know after the selection process, and we can see what kind of alternatives we can offer, or if we can offer a later batch joining for you guys. So if you're unable to attend the training program after selection, maybe reach out to us at that stage for us to maybe consider alternatives. We'll be considering alternatives based on the numbers of students that we get in this particular category. So most of the questions I've already answered, guys. So in terms of the test pattern, job locations, what will be trained on, programming skills being very prominent. So in case you have missed out on some of these, please check out the chat box where I've shared a YouTube video which details the process. and also the requirements for you guys to apply. There is also in the same YouTube video, there is also a link to apply for this program. So I'm going to take the next question. Ma'am, you said that the program is, there'll be flexibility to work from home during the full-timer. Is the same flexibility available during the internship also?
Yes. Especially during the pandemic, everybody is working from home. So that will happen, yeah.
Right. The next question is from Aarti. If we have to improve ourselves, apart from programming, what skills do I have to improve to make myself a fast track kind of a professional?
Yeah, so I think I already mentioned that, right? So once, not sure whether she's asking before or after being in ThoughtWorks, but I would generally say that, try and participate in a lot of activities that keep happening in the industry pertaining to your role or what you want to do, right? The more visible you are, start writing code, start going into open source and start writing code there, start contributing to it. Once you start doing these things is when you actually find a lot of other people as well whom you can keep talking to and knowing more. So open source contribution, I would definitely say that you should do in one way or the other. The other thing is about your regular your regular tech skills. Read books as much as you can on those. There are a lot of tools available nowadays online where you can go and do a lot of practice. So, practice a lot of those things. And that whatever can give you a competitive edge in coding, go ahead and do that, right? Because rest everything is like you embarking into a journey and then experiencing it and going ahead with it. But the tech still remains at core. You need to be extremely good at it for you to go further.
Right. So the next question is ThoughtWorks, this comes from Sushma, so is ThoughtWorks an Indian company? Is there any on-site opportunities at ThoughtWorks?
It's a global company. There are on-site opportunities as well. Yes.
Great. So I think some of the questions are repetitive in the sense that you're asking us about pattern and the job role as well as the technologies that you will learn. We've already answered that. Maybe check out the YouTube recording. Also about the salary and stipend part, we have answered that. So if there's any other questions, we are happy to take them. Please post in the comment section. Otherwise, you can reach out to us on the contact email mentioned in the registration page. So if you go to the registration page and register, you will also get an email with a specific email contact. You can send your queries there. I request you to please read through the FAQs and watch the process video where most of your questions will be answered. If not, do reach out to us and we'll be happy to help. On that note, I'll just see if there are any extra questions, and if not, we can probably close this session. Okay, one question I will take. Can I apply if we don't code in the Java language? Absolutely. We don't evaluate skills based on a very language specific approach. We are ThoughtWorks and Face, both of us, we are looking for programming skills in a language agnostic manner. Our compiler, which we provide, also will give you multiple options to test your programming skills. So you don't have to worry about lack of programming language specifically in Java. There'll be some MCQ rounds as well. Yes. All right. So is there any position for web development in ThoughtWorks? Would we once selected, will we be able to get into design and web positions rather than just core development? This is the question.
Yes, there will be. So obviously development is core. However, there is front-end development, there is back-end development as well. So I would like to add that it will be more like a polyglot programmer. At least the first few years of your journey will be that of a polyglot programmer, where you will get to learn everything. It's after 3-4 years is when you will realize that you really like this particular thing and you would want to deep dive into it, is when you can think of specialization. I would advise at a grad level, you should always look at doing everything that is required in a project. So you will do front-end web development, other development as well. You will do continuous integration. You will do a bit of DevOps part as well. So you'll do multiple things, whatever is there in your project. And after a couple of years is when you can actually deep dive into whatever interests you more.
Right. So there is another comment rather from a student. These days, a lot of students are, copying in exams, etc., because virtual is not monitored. How would FACE and ThoughtWorks ensure the correct students are selected? I can assure you that we are going to put additional safeguards in place to ensure that only the right candidates come through. And also, just imagine there are multiple rounds of selection process. Even if you get through the first round with some help, you may not be able to get through the subsequent rounds. So we expect all of you guys to be honest enough to yourself first in terms of taking this exam, and as much as any other recruitment test, because clearing all the rounds with some help may not be possible. So make sure you focus on skilling up instead. That will push you far ahead in terms of the competition.
I say it might not just be possible, because if there is a training program going on where the trainer is not talking to the trainees at all, this can be a possibility. But that is not how like ThoughtWorks and FACE is going to conduct the trainings. It is going to be a lot where there'll be a lot of interaction, there'll be a lot of questions, there'll be a lot of challenges, there'll be a lot of activities where we'll be asking your opinions, for which you have to prep and come, for which you will have to really prep yourself, and it's only then that you can have opinions, is when you can question and challenge, right? And when that happens, it only happens when you are doing things. If you are not, if you're not good enough, that will definitely come out. So yeah, I feel that will not happen. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Apsara, for your time. This was a great insight into the process as well as the organization that is ThoughtWorks. And we hope for an exciting process to kickstart on 18th of November and find you the best candidates. I'm also excited about being part of the training team, which is going to help these candidates get ready for ThoughtWorks. Thank you once again, and thank you all of you who have attended this program today.
Sure. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Thanks, Vijay. Thanks to all the participants. It was nice, and I hope together we can bring about a lot of changes. So yeah. Great. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone, and see you in the next one. Thank you. Bye.